really white. So's my legs. Shit.
Ooh, streaming.
We're streaming?
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
Wait, do we get sound? Check, 1, 2.
I'm checking now.
Is it working?
It's not come on yet.
Well, crank it.
Hang on.
Doesn't look cranked.
Ooh.
I'm watching the bars here.
What do you mean?
I'm watching that bottom bar.
Yeah, and?
I like.
Yeah, wait for
How's it going?
There it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it cranked?
It's crazy. I think we're doing pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Listen to
Oh,
us.
look, we're live, we're streaming, and we're watching ourselves like
Oh.
2 minutes ago. Or
It's
not
like
2
looking
minutes.
into
Okay,
a mirror,
40
sort
seconds?
of.
Is it 40? What's the delay?
I don't know. It's pretty big. Pretty big delay.
We need to work on our intro.
Whatever. Hey!
Like morons.
So yeah, we're just getting a few things ready. If you're here, great. Thanks for stopping by. This is hit B.
What are you, Jersey?
B. Thanks for stopping by.
Northeastern.
Thanks for stopping by.
Oh. I want to play the Irish card.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. So we're totally unorganized tonight.
Yeah.
I've been troubleshooting issues all day because I'm an idiot and I'm part of the problem, and I've been having issues with my mining rigs, but I'm just about to sort it out. I'm Brad. I started the channel, but I'm certainly not going to finish it. This is well, you know what? The hell with it.
Yeah.
This is Driven Tech, and this is
what?
you're Travis, right?
Right. You're Brad.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the
Okay.
lack of sleep and everything, I'm not 100% anymore.
I just say and do things.
Well,
You-
I mean
you're the
that's
brains.
kind of a given, really. Saying and doing things.
You're the brains of this operation.
Please.
I'm
That's
a
that-
joyrider.
The brains of the operation is much more of a compliment than I really deserve at this point.
Okay, 2 heads are better than one.
So, yeah,
Sure.
I guess diminishing
Brains,
returns after one
Right.
in our situation. Yeah, so this is Driven Tech. We talk usually, I guess is a good way to say it. Usually we talk a decent amount of tech, a little bit of gaming, and sometimes we talk a lot about cars. But I don't know that
Whatever
we got too
else-
much car news to talk
Whatever
about
else
tonight.
we really feel like.
Yeah, we'll take a look at what the internet
Spatting.
has to say and be like, oh
Not
my God,
much.
look at that
I'm
stuff.
sorry, the internet's kind of like, hey, check out this trailer from Comic-Con. That's pretty much all that's going on right now.
True.
It's like,
That's true.
in your face. Well, I mean, most people that play games or are techies or play computers are at one point or another
Indeed.
geeks.
Actually, I do know one place to start.
Where?
And that is with the recent news about.
Take me on a journey.
Take me on a story.
What you got?
So a big thing that's recently come up, and we didn't talk about it last week, although we could have. I was aware of it. Is that net neutrality? Again, is under fire by the FCC. They want to kind of do away with the concept of net neutrality. That would force websites. I am clearly paraphrasing on this, but it would essentially make it so that websites that didn't pay, say, like an ISP, an additional amount of money, would have slower internet speeds, like to end users. So, like for instance, Netflix and Hulu and a lot of the bigger websites, for like streaming, in other words, they have the capital to afford to pay these things and say, oh no, we want to make sure that we have the fastest speeds of anybody, and if someone tries to go to a competitor, we want to make sure that they don't have the fast speeds. So that's just like a very, very, very big like nutshell of it. But this is a huge deal for tech companies because they want to make sure that the internet remains a free and open marketplace for exchange of ideas and products and services. You can actually comment on the FCC's website or Twitter if you are against it, which, here we go. And this is actually the part I was looking for. Net neutrality is the concept that everyone should have equal access to the web. Amazon should not be able to pay to have its website load faster than Newegg or Best Buy or mom and pop and e-commerce site, for example. So it is kind of like what I'd say.
Okay.
So essentially, the way that I see it is the government really has no place in dictating who gets faster internet speeds. And
Right.
if they pass some sort of legislation taking away net neutrality, that's essentially what they're doing. And it makes me, I hate to be, and I don't want to get too much into politics, but it makes me wonder who is talking to these politicians at like the FCC and our senators and congressmen. And this is on both sides too. This is Republicans
Right.
and Democrats. This is completely bipartisan. And I want to make sure, I want to know who is talking to these people that is making them even consider passing legislation that would make this stuff okay. Like, that's what I want to know.
Who's talking to them, and what are they getting out of it?
Exactly.
Money. It's money. This all comes down to money.
Yep.
Who's paying who to do what?
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny. I'm like, how does one even control the internet? Because it's usually giant servers and whatnot. Like, essentially, there's one here in Atlanta, or a couple of them called QTS is a big one.
Yeah.
I've stood in the middle of it. I'm essentially in the middle of the internet. This is awesome.
Well, and the other
And
thing
it's just
too.
like, wow.
This
how
actually
come you can control that.
That's true. I don't know.
Like, how does one control the digital space and who?
Well,
gets
essentially what they're saying is that, like, say, so for instance, if I have, Comcast, for instance, which I don't, and Amazon says, hey, I want to have our website load faster than every other e-commerce retailer on the internet, so we're going to pay you this amount of money to make sure that all website traffic that goes through our website has a faster internet speed by default. And that's the whole essence of net neutrality. Is, people like me want to make sure that that does not happen. Now, I'm not saying Amazon would do that, but it's just an example,
right?
Or Netflix loading faster than Hulu, or Vimeo or YouTube, so things like that. I want it to make sure that the internet is equal for everybody.
So you're saying even for somebody that still runs DSL, that Netflix would, if this would to happen, Netflix would somewhat load faster than it already does?
No, so
compared to other stuff, I'm like,
with a speed limited connection like yours,
right.
Netflix would, for instance, if they participated in this and paid to
right.
have their site load faster, that would load at the same speed for you.
Okay.
But then every other streaming website from everybody else would load slower. Now, it might only be 10% slower, but it would still load slower. So that would motivate you to go to that website, that particular streaming service or e-commerce retailer, because it loads faster and you don't want to wait as long. So like it's a motivator tool for website owners to say, okay, we want to pay to have ours load faster so that it brings more traffic.
But for somebody who's stuck on a slower provider anyway, it doesn't matter because
it could slow you down even more.
Right, but we're already used to shit going so slow anyway.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
So imagine
the only thing that's gonna motivate me is like, I need faster internet.
So imagine then,
give me faster internet. I don't care which loads.
But you shouldn't have to pay for faster internet just to get the same speeds you're used to.
But everybody else is still you have to pay more anyway. I have to pay more for fiber. You'd have to pay more for fiber.
Oh, well, we don't get fiber, so I'm not worried about it.
But see, it's a racket anyway. If you're talking about free stuff, I'm like, why are we having to pay more for higher speeds anyway?
Well, see, because that's a service, right? You have different levels of service from an ISP.
Right.
So that makes sense because that's very clear and cut. Like, I'm going to pay more for an Acura than I am for a Honda because it's a luxury vehicle. So I'm paying for the luxury of like the features and
yeah, the interior and the body, the engine is the same.
But you get what I mean. Like, well, I mean, they'll tune the engine up or whatever they do. But it's one of those deals where I understand paying for a faster internet speed in general, but when I'm paying for that faster internet speed, I don't want one website to load faster than the other because that one website has the cap. That's what I mean.
They should all still load at the same rate your internet is.
Right. That's the whole thing is net neutrality.
Net neutrality, though, besides that, some may have better servers than the other. Like the smaller websites, they're going to have a smaller server base to begin with, so they're not going to be as powerful as, say, the bigger companies.
Sure.
So right now, the bigger companies do load faster than other ones.
There's some truth to that, but then again, there's not. Even like your big competitors, say like Hulu and Netflix. Hulu's like, no, we're not paying that. Netflix is like, we'll pay it, and they load 50% faster. That's BS. Or if you're a YouTuber and you need faster speeds to YouTube, and YouTube's like, yeah, we're not paying those fees. And so like Vimeo does. well, I'm not going to upload to Vimeo. I'm not going to upload to someone else. I want to upload to YouTube because that's my platform, right?
Because it's free.
Right. The service is free.
Right.
But if they don't pay to have their site load faster than, say, like another streaming service, then they're going to load slower. So, I mean, it's one of the, it's this huge
right
bucket, can of worms, whatever you want to call it.
Right. It's a giant it's an argument over money is what it comes down
Well,
to.
money and you know, if I'm paying an ISP, I want to for a service, I want to make sure that everything comes through at that same speed. I don't want one to have better preferential treatment than another.
But even some might not because it's a smaller site than others.
But that's acceptable. But if that site doesn't pay to have their site load as fast as it possibly can, and they slow that site down even more,
okay, that's bad. But right now, as it sits without this, there are some sites.
That's regardless.
I know, but some still.
You don't have to they're not legislating that you're a smaller company, so you have a slower server. But in this case, they would be essentially legislating you have to pay more to have a faster site than you normally would. Yeah, that's what I mean. So
it's total BS.
It's not okay.
Speaking into this happens with other stuff besides just this.
But this is a huge thing that has recently cropped up, and that it's a huge deal because they literally are looking to force website content owners, whatever, to pay money to have their sites load as fast as, say, like their competitors.
So what's the government going to get out of it?
That's the question. What are they going to get out of it? What is there? Is there a kickback involved from the ISPs? Is there, the ISPs are claiming that, oh, well, we'll sort this out. No, you're going to take the money and run. Like, we're not stupid.
Well, we're not stupid, but people pay anyway to have their service.
Sure, but paying for a service I'm an ISP and I have different levels of service. Okay, I get that. But I'm an ISP and not only do I have different levels of service for the end user, but now I have different levels of service for hosting sites. And say, oh, well, if you would just pay us
I still want my
25% more, you could have your old speed back. Like, that's the kind of thing I think that we need to try and prevent. Is them going, okay, well, since you don't want to pay us the money, well, now we're going to slow your internet connection down more than it already was. And so for smaller, websites, that's a huge deal. Because they, if they're a small website and they don't pay for server bandwidth like, say, Amazon or eBay,
right?
Then they're already at a competitive disadvantage. That would just widen the gap, and that's not okay.
All right, so everybody, go riot and say FCC no, boo.
Yeah, please.
Free internet. If that even works.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I'd love free internet if that was a
thing. Can we please get free internet? It would be amazing. I like that idea.
Yeah, I would not be opposed to free internet. Well, then again, somebody would have to pay for it. So
Liberate. What would you want to slogan this as?
You might take my pornography, but you'll never take my internet freedom. I don't know.
There's the big money thing behind there. Who would get? Who would be the big proponent of, say, bold to this is the porn sites.
Big proponent.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
I mean, think about it. They make a lot of money. Like, everybody else thinks all these other companies. Netflix is making money. It's like, I guarantee you there's like one or two sites that make a lot more than Netflix. Just shows you how dirty we are on the inside.
Yeah, right.
We ain't going to be public about it, but no, guess what? They exist.
So moving on to the next thing with a little bit more hardware-based stuff. If you haven't yet, go check out AnandTech's CPU Buyer's Guide.
Ooh, more CPU news.
Right. I mean, they're doing they've got all their reviews of basically like Kaby X, Skylake X, Ryzen. We should be seeing Ryzen 3 reviews. If we're not already, I've been so busy this week I haven't been paying attention. But they do have a CPU Buyer's Guide. They break it down really nicely by segment, price. They break it up between AMD and Intel on both sides so you can kind of see a breakdown. It's not just like a mismatch. It's very organized, very good.
I like that.
So actually,
workstation, peak gaming, smart gaming.
We can actually see we switched over here, so they've definitely got really nice layout here.
We'll see. I'm thinking I'm wanting a VR set. I want to do a VR build later on. So
sure.
I'm gonna have to have a Ryzen 7, huh?
No, not at all. Ryzen 5 is great for VR.
I'm saying right there.
Boop. Smart gaming VR.
Right,
Ding.
smart gaming, but peak gaming. Come on, I want like.
You don't need peak gaming.
Shh! I want the Corvette.
You don't play
I want the
AAA tiles.
I want the Corvette.
Tiles. Yeah, but you don't need a Corvette. You need a Mustang.
Shut up! I want the Corvette. I want the Viper.
You need something cheap with a dirty history. No, I'm just kidding.
No. How's that German car working out for you?
Pretty damn good, actually. It looks great in my garage where it hasn't moved for 2 weeks. It's really good garage candy.
I'm just going to keep giving you crow.
It's really good
munch,
garage
munch,
candy.
Munch, munch, munch. I'm sure they got like a candy flavor by now.
Yeah, they should. So, but yeah, so pretty nice. They got benchmarks, rendering times. Pretty much, I mean, anything you could think of, whether it be workstation, gaming, just everyday computer, budget, all that stuff. They got a
very good source of information.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Let's see what else we got going on here. Kaby Lake Core i3 processors are going to be coming out.
Are those any good? Because right now my work laptop has an i3. I guess it's an older one.
Oh, yeah.
Good night. I put more than 4 things on there running at once, and it's just like, hold on.
Yeah, just
let me get stupid.
Like I just bought some laptops for my real job.
It's like,
and
for your real job?
For my real job, my real person job.
And
yeah, they had Core i5s. You know,
I'd rather have an i5.
Oh, I was not willing to go near a Core i3, not for even for the little bit that we're going to be using it for.
I run I always have an Excel sheet open. I have my email open in case something comes up, and then I also have like an Adobe, or I have the thing called oh shoot, what's it called again? It's almost like a CAD program, but it's simpler. Dang thing bogs down when I have more than 3 drawings open at once.
Like a CAD program, but simpler.
I keep forgetting the
Vectorworks?
name of it. No, it's not Vectorworks.
Okay.
It's
I like Vectorworks.
Bluebeam.
Oh yeah, I haven't used that.
Yeah, well, mine's even a free source, and then when I try using Label Maker on top of it, it's just like the computer's like,
is it no?
No. I was like, are these things maxed out in RAM? Please, I need another 512.
So there actually is some good news. So Samsung has increased production volumes of 8 gigabyte high bandwidth memory 2 chips because of the high demand on it, which is actually really nice. They're stacked die based on 8 gigabyte DRAM devices and an 8 high stack configuration.
So what are these found in?
This is going to be HBM2 stuff is going to be like your GPU memory. So like your AMD, they use HBM2 memory.
Oh, I wonder why there's a shortage.
Right. Well, actually, it's also because the new Vega cards all have HBM2 memory, and people are starting to actually get on board with that. And also Apple is using Vega.
Oh.
So there's a good reason they're ramping up production of that.
Okay.
So that's just a
it's
quick.
Not environmental. Like
No.
I remember when the Fukushima plant and all that. It's like, hey, we're losing hard drives. We're losing this. Yeah, we can't produce this right now because sorry, disasters.
So
when I saw this, I was like,
not much other news in the GPU market. Prices are still a little elevated. There's still shortage in retailers. I mean,
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
I mean, I would love to get my hands on one of the new mining cards to see what that's all about. Either the 106 architecture, the NVIDIA based one, or the I think it's an RX 470 based mining card.
So one NVIDIA, one AMD.
Yeah, and there's different board partners for that.
Come on, we'll test them for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll take time to make a review of that. I actually do need to get off my derriere now that I've actually got just about everything up and running.
Yeah.
And start making some new videos about tech.
Right.
If I can actually get my hands on some, woo!
Please.
Actually, I mean, I've got all these graphics cards now. I could just
do
like review after review.
You've bought them, so.
Yeah, I've got 570s, 580s, 1060s, 1070s. I've got my 1080 in this.
Right, but see, you just did a review about it. Mining, not necessarily gaming. What they were originally built for.
Well, the information about like mining hash rates and stuff. I mean, that's out there. That's been around for some time. So I don't think I would have much to add to that. But
just like, hey, look, I did a thing.
Yeah, look at maybe. Well, actually, we will do a video of that.
What?
Once I get everything finalized down there and get all
Okay.
the mods and stuff done, we'll do like a little walkthrough of the room and be like, okay, well.
Oh, we also have the other 2 boards we were talking
we
about.
we still need to finish that one now that I got
finally figured that guy out.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean,
you got
figured
lucky.
it out.
You pulled some things
I
out
took everything out
and started
from
like,
scratch without leaving anything in.
Well,
And I was like,
that
look,
was
it works.
late night. I mean, the first boot we booted it without any RAM.
Yeah, and
with
then
boops. The second boot didn't have a card in.
No card. Yeah, then it was.
Forgot the hard drive.
Yeah, then the SATA cable was unplugged from the hard drive.
We were just failing that night.
It was bad. And yeah, well.
What else were we? Okay, stop. Was that plugged in? Oh shit!
That's supposed to be plugged in. Dang it!
Do we got power? Yes. Check. Click. I thought we had power. Hold on. Extension cord.
So the Project Cars 2, heading over towards a little bit of gaming news. Project Cars 2 is coming out, which is going to be really, really nice. It looks really pretty.
What is Project Cars 2?
It's a racing simulator, essentially. And well, Project Cars was a really good racing simulator already.
GT or Gran Turismo.
No, Gran Turismo.
Forza.
No, Forza is for consoles. Forza, and as much as I love Gran Turismo, and I do, Forza is really good. They're on top of their crap. And Forza now has a PC ported racing simulator as well. I think Forza Horizon, I want to say.
Oh. So is this...
Project Cars came out a couple years ago. They've been doing pretty well. But the second one, and I do believe that this was the one that they demoed at the NVIDIA keynote at Computex this year.
Right.
And it looks really, 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 really pretty. It's darn near photorealistic, about as close as I've seen thus far.
So perfect for your 1060 card.
My 1080.
1080.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice for that. Great for my little Ryzen machine here.
So
actually, that would be a fun one to do, like a little racing game.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we'll see. But are these ones where you want to build the big simulator? You know, with the 3 screens, the steering.
I mean, it'd be great. Yeah, obviously, but are we going to do that? Probably not in the near future.
I mean, we could build.
Probably not in the near. Where are we going to put it? Yeah.
It could come out with a few screws and whatnot, but I mean, come on, go to the junkyard, find a chair. And...
So, a couple things that are really nice.
We could do this. Come on.
It is Slightly Mad Studios, the creator of the game, is said that this is to be their ultimate rendition of a racing simulator, and based on the screenshots and video that I've seen, it does look that way.
But does it feel?
From what we can actually see here.
But you don't drive a car like that.
So this is a screenshot, and it has HDR calibration. It's going to be probably optimized for 4K. It looks gorgeous.
Right, it does. But I'm like, if it's supposed to be a simulator, I'm like, you don't drive your car in third person.
Well, that's... Some people prefer it. I don't care.
I know, I do it sometimes, but I'm just like... Everybody's like, the best car simulator. It's like, until you... the real simulators are the ones that are at those trade shows all the time, and you get in, and you feel the bumps and stuff, and...
Well, there's something to be said for that.
When you crash, you get knocked around.
They actually demoed one of those at Computex. A bunch of the other tech tubers that actually got to go, like Paul's Hardware and Bitwit, and even Linus Tech Tips.
Right. See, like,
and it's one of those simulator chairs that actually like has the hydraulics and.
Right. But see, like, I don't get the guys that play simulators using remote controls, using the joystick. I was like, that's not simulating driving.
I had a steering wheel and pedal set.
I know.
Hey, where is that?
That's
what I thought.
It's for an old system you don't even have anymore.
It will work on PC.
Oh, okay. Well, just...
No, I want the Logitech one.
See?
Freaking sexy.
So, never mind.
But they will have...
underneath the drum set, too.
So they will have HDR calibration settings, which is going to be really nice for those that do have HDR displays, for those playing on 4K TVs or, 4K monitors that actually have HDR.
LCD and all that.
It'll probably be playable in 8K as well, since companies like Dell are making 8K computer monitors at this point. Looks like they are
there's another gripe for all that later.
looking to release in late September, I think the 22nd, and they are actually saying too that people will actually be able to play a 4K triple screen setup, which will actually make it 12K resolution.
Your eyes can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, you're gonna have 12,000 pixels wide. You're gonna be able to tell the difference because you see 12,000 pixels.
So bright, your eyes are gonna be like, oh my god.
No, it's gonna be immersive.
Immersive is when. Forget the 3 screens. Just put a VR headset on and you're in the cockpit.
Good.
Driving. That's a simulator. That's immersive. Mm-hmm. Having 3 screens and going, hey, look, 10K is like, can you tell the difference between 4K and 10K besides the suntan you're going to get if you have it full on brightness?
What are you talking about? That 4K is just the resolution.
I know.
It has nothing to do with the brightness.
I know, but 4K. 8K, I was like...
4K, 4K, 4K. It's 3 4K monitors.
Okay, so you're just adding it all.
So it's 12,000...
Oh, boy.
Pixels wide.
Okay.
That's why it's 12K. Because it's literally just 12,000 pixels.
So what if it was 8K?
Then it would be 2 monitors. Or one ultra-wide that happened to be 8K, but they don't have those yet that I've seen. 21:9 aspect ratio. Have not seen one. Seen them in 4K, but not... 4K. Again, 3840 by 1080, but... Whatever. It still looks good.
Difference between 1080 and 4K. Like
yes, the true 4K is 3840 by 2160.
Right.
Or if it's cinema 4K, it's 4096 by 2160p. So it's really 2160p, and then 1080 is 1080p. So it's 1920 by 1080. 4K is 4 times the amount of pixels. Yeah.
So when it pixelates, you're gonna be like, I can't tell it's even pixelating.
Hopefully, if you're trying to drive a 4K display, you better have something that can drive it, because otherwise you're stop. So in other hardware news, real quick.
I just like to argue.
I know, and that's fine. Asus ROG Crosshair 6 Extreme motherboard.
Ooh.
$349 US. It's going to be the AM4 Ryzen platform based on the 370 chipset. As usual with, let me actually go ahead and switch over here. This is from WCCF Tech. And if I'm not mistaken, the newer ROG Crosshair boards, some of the newer ones, I know the X299, if I'm not mistaken, has this. But they actually have blueprints that you can download and 3D print your own like little pieces for it. Which is actually really neat. So you like the accents, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool thing, yeah.
Well, when you scroll down, what is all that?
What is all what? What are you talking about?
Is it needed? That what's your
like this? This is covering the input outputs. So like if you have a glass, if you're buying this motherboard, let's face it, you probably have a tempered glass side panel on your case.
You don't want the ugly.
And you don't want to see just the bare metal sitting there of the input output port. So that's why they have that.
All right.
This is covering your chipset.
So do something with the peripherals.
And then of course you have your VRM covers and all that stuff.
As long as they're not covering up ports or plugs that you need.
No.
Because remember when that looks nice, but when you're trying to work with it in a case, it's like
no, because they've got like your fan headers here. They got and if I'm not mistaken too, this actually has USB 3.1 for your front panel.
Ooh.
Which is it's kind of the newish thing, but it's gonna be really nice. Because they're gonna start seeing.
3.0.
Oh God, yeah.
Ah! Button.
Which one is it?
The live button, LV.
Yeah, there it is.
Click, click, boom.
We're waiting for that one.
Oh, actually, you know what? It's a good thing that I was on the webpage still, I believe.
Yeah, why?
Because when the camera cuts out, no one can tell. Except that I just said something and now everybody knows.
Way to go.
The illusion is ruined.
What illusion?
Yeah, right.
There is no illusion.
So they're actually saying that it will have a 12-phase VRM design, which is going to be great for overclocking. Sockets powered by an 8 and 4-pin connector. Whereas the standard 24-pin connector on the side. The 8 and 4-pin connector for the CPU is going to allow for much better, much more even power delivery for that 12-phase design. So for overclocking, it's going to make for a much better and trouble-free overclocking experience for your Ryzen. Especially as people figure out more like kind of extreme stable overclocks for them. It's going to be really nice.
I like the red.
DDR4 memory, of course, will go up to 64 gig capacities, up to 3200 megahertz. There are 3 PCIe 3.0 X16 slots. 2 are full X16, and the third is actually running at a X8 speed. There are 3 PCIe 1X slots and 2 M.2 slots on the board. which will support 2242, 2260, and 2280 size devices. The second is actually hidden beneath the PCH heatsink, so that nice little ROG panel there.
All right.
That's the kind of side of it over off to the right there. Actually covers up the second M.2. So if if your M.2 doesn't quite match the aesthetic of the case or the motherboard, you should kind of sock it away in there and hide it. So that's kind of a nice little feature. Just
neat.
So let's see, and also that heatsink acts as a heatsink for the M.2. So that's actually a really nice feature as well.
Still going?
Oh yeah, it's just the YouTube is being stupid.
Oh, okay. I'm just monitoring. Oh wow, that's a lot of blue. That's a lot of fast use. He ain't even using the old USB much anymore.
So in the back panel, you have a clear CMOS button, a BIOS reset button, or BIOS flashback button, which is actually really nice for those that do a lot of like futzing with the BIOS for overclocking and whatnot. You could just reset if you mess something up.
Right.
Wi-Fi antennas built, so it has Wi-Fi built in. 6 USB 3.0s, 4 super speed USB 2.0s, a USB 3.1 Type A and Type C, an Ethernet port, a digital audio out, and of course a 5-channel audio jack. That's one thing that for those that haven't built the system in a while, motherboards have gone away from having, say, like the old Crosshair boards had a separate audio card that came with it.
Right.
Most higher end motherboards have great, like say Realtek, audio devices built onto them.
I got a 5.1 out or mine will do 6 even though my amp's only a 5-channel, which is nice.
So that's again really nice. So the ROG backplate also has support for a bits power monoblock on the CPU socket. So yeah, I mean it's going to be great. Again, great for overclocking. RGB control, not only on the motherboard, but it will most likely have an RGB header, so that you can control case RGB LEDs with the Aura software, Aura Sync software. And so it will start in early August, and again MSRP on that is $349.
Hey, Asus, we'll build you a case.
Yeah, right.
Come on, let us test it. Let's play with it.
I think we're asking for too much at this point.
Come on, a test drive, just a little taste, just a small taste.
So
we're not begging.
As far as as far as gaming, the one game that I will say, I'm not too sure about it, but I kind of want to play it because it's from Game Grumps. It's called Dream Daddy's a Daddy Dating Simulator, and it looks hilarious.
It's a what?
It's a dating simulator that's kind of like gender reversed. So it's instead of dating women, you're dating men, and it looks fantastic. It's actually really well drawn. It's from I know Vernon Shaw actually headed up the project. It's got a lot of great artists with it. I've seen some of the background designs.
Okay.
You know what? Let me pull it up.
So the premise of the game is I'm a dude trying to pick up a dude.
No. You're just whatever.
I'm just whatever.
I don't know.
Well, you just said it was gender reversed.
So because again, you're dating men. So I believe the premise is probably you're a woman trying to find a man.
So this is more geared toward women.
Kind of, yeah. Actually, I think. But again, this is kind of brought from. Essentially, Game Grumps has turned themselves into somewhat of a game studio with the release of this game. And it, like I said, it looks hilarious. So it's kind of like not just like you're finding a man, but it's kind of like for your older generation of people that kind of grew up playing dating simulators, and now it's like, okay, now you're trying to find like.
I never played one.
Oh my god, they're fun. They're hilarious to play. Trust me,
Okay.
they are. Maybe we'll have to get you up on one.
Why, to see how badly I failed?
Oh no, they're just.
So I gotta think like a woman. How am I gonna?
No, they're just rollicking good fun. No, we'll play a regular one with you. I think I have Honey Pop on mine. I think that's the only one, just because I saw people playing it and it's hilarious.
So what's the whole point of it? What's the end thing in the game? Trying to take them home?
I mean, essentially.
Okay.
I mean, there's no like. It's not pornographic. I mean, I think
right.
there's like a patch out there that makes it so, but.
Okay, but that's the end. That's the end result of the game. Like,
yeah, you're trying to win the heart of the affection of your.
I went fishing and I caught a whopper.
Right. Essentially, but the thing I like about Honey Pop though is it kind of makes like puzzle games built into it. So like, it's almost like I would equate it to like Candy Crush in a way, And the better you do in that, like the more points you get towards like the girl you're trying to pick up. Or it's,
Okay.
I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to just kind of sit there and make fun of in a lot of ways.
Oh, and just see how fast you get shot down.
Oh no, it's just trust me.
Right.
I think we'll actually have to go through and play it.
Okay. It's just to see like, all right.
I just realized I was
Think like
just,
a woman for a moment.
I
Like,
was
how am I
basically
gonna get this dude?
eating my microphone there for a second.
Nom, nom, nom.
Microphone.
Just fillet it. It's all right. It'll happen once.
So I haven't really seen a lot of other gaming news that I'm super duper excited about.
Nah.
I'm on PC Gamer and I just don't see a lot.
Duh. Ugly white van.
Yeah, well. Actually, one of the games that's picked up a lot of steam recently is Player Unknown Battleground. Even Terry Crews has picked up on that one. Because he was a big Overwatch player, and he's actually said that he still likes Overwatch, but he likes Player Unknown Battle PUBG a lot better. Like that's his new game of choice. So if you haven't, I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out.
Another first-person shooter.
No, it's kind of like a third-person multiplayer
thriller.
survival type of deal. I believe there's zombos involved.
So like, zombie meets Call of Duty or something like that.
I don't know. We'll have to play it.
There will be killing, explosions, guns.
Doomfist, the new character for Overwatch, is out. He has been released. So that's always fun.
It's a big muscle guy with a big, serious punch.
Yes, indeed.
All right. What else we got?
Yeah. I think we already talked about Far Cry 5 in a previous episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's about it. Overwatch World Cup was this weekend.
Oh.
In Sydney, Australia, so that's fun.
Oh boy.
Otherwise, I don't really know of much else going on. So like I said, definitely go and check out NN Tech, WCCF Tech, PC Gamer, and PC Mag for pretty much all the stuff that we talked about there.
All right, now for the vroom vroom side.
I'm gonna see if there's anything interesting going on in the car world. Real quick.
Constantly going to Car and Driver, hit Motor Trend or Hot Rod.
I do.
Mag.
Well, with car news, there's not gonna be a lot in Hot Rod.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, you would. I've read some articles. That and I can't help. I'm a little biased. I've been hooked on Roadkill. I've been going far back.
We've been to Motor Trend before.
I've been far back as watching. I can't believe they started in 2012, and I really didn't. Ooh, that looks so
the
sexy.
demon. Yeah. We talked about that one already.
Yeah, but that
it's
blacked out.
It's gonna be nice.
Quickly throw that on the. Are they looking at that?
They are now, I think.
Oh, look at that! Look at that blacked out car.
Oh no, they were before.
Ah! What'd you do?
I was on Us before.
Oh.
So no, I'm back
Look
on Us, I think.
Wow.
I don't remember anymore. Okay, yeah, that was Us. Okay.
What are you doing?
So back to the prettiness. Ooh. Back to not so prettiness. Oh.
I want one of those. Get 86,000 just lying around.
I don't.
Dang.
Let's see. Yeah, this is a lot of the stuff we covered last week. Let's see if Motor Trend has anything. Ford F-150 police responder.
What?
It's an off-road.
That's new.
Pickup. So
I
that's
didn't know
kind of
about
neat.
that. Click on that.
2018.
Oh, so they have to wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pursued by a F-150. Let me guess.
If you go off-road.
Let me guess. Hold on. It's powered by an EcoBoost.
That's a great question. Let's find out.
Probably is. I guarantee you.
Yep, twin turbo V6.
Oh Jesus! Yep. You know what? This engine is turning for Ford. For Ford company itself, the EcoBoost is turning into the LS engine.
Yeah.
Ford's just gonna stick it in everything.
They are. They're putting it in just about everything.
I know.
You got the Taurus. It goes in the F-150. It goes in the V6, the twin turbo V6. They don't put that in the Fusion. I don't believe. I think it only goes in the Taurus.
It only goes in the
SHO.
Taurus, but the Fusion, the Fusion, and the Escape, they all get a turbo 4-cylinder.
Yeah, it's still an EcoBoost.
They still call it an
EcoBoost.
EcoBoost. They're putting EcoBoosts in everything.
But hey, I mean, twin turbo V6 for 375 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque. That is no slouch.
it's not a slouch, but go look up at the Raptor. Go look up the price of a brand new Raptor that has the same engine. The amount that they give you for a supposed desert runner with that engine, I could get a diesel that makes twice the power and just drag it.
Well, you're paying for the
Okay,
name.
so I get a sport suspension, but I'm like, I'd rather have a Rip Snorton V8 with some torque, not a turbocharger. I get it. The turbo's 3 horsepower. It's in a V6. I was like, yes, but you're going to use just as much fuel that you are in that V8 to get those turbos to spool.
No, if you keep your foot out of it, you stay at a boost, you're going to be fine.
Don't, but that's the whole point of having the power. The power
I know
issue.
that. You know that. Grandma doesn't know that.
Yeah, but they went and said, hey, for our Raptor, let's stick it in the new Raptor. I was like, I liked it when the old Raptor had the 6.2 in it. That was nice.
Yeah,
that was
it
a
was.
great engine. They're like, we're only building it for this. I was like, no, you're not, because I looked it up. The Ford 350 4x4 gas is a 6.2.
It's probably slightly different.
But they actually said they're going to get rid of that. They're going to have a bigger, beefier V8 to replace their old 10 and 1. I think we talked that about further back on another episode. Like,
Yeah.
Ford's doing some things. When I saw this, the police pursuit truck, I was like, are you kidding me?
Well, because also too, you know they're going to want to go for the V6 turbo, because when the police are just cruising around, they're not going to be using as much fuel as if they would with a V8.
Well, it all
So
depends.
it's all going to be about.
Besides that, it
It's all
also
going to be about
depends
bang
on.
for the buck.
Well, it also depends on what rear axle ratio they're going to have in it.
It's
And
for
it being
it's for off road pursuit. So
You know where you
It's
can
for
do an
the-
off-road pursuit here in Georgia.
South Georgia.
Okay. How many times are they actually going to take the things off-road?
If I was a cop, all the damn time.
Ugh.
Hell yeah! If they're going to give me one, I'm going to fucking use it.
Right, but when you're looking at that, like, I don't think it's got the travel in the first time when they took the Raptors off-road. If it's got the same suspension as the Raptors, here's the problem: bent beds, and they're gonna weight it down if they put a what's the word I'm looking for? The little cage like in the Chargers. Like when I worked at the Dodge dealership, the Doraville cops would come like, "Hey man, I know those Mustangs could get souped up, but like, I know you guys can do stuff to these Chargers. Like, you guys got those computers and stuff." I was like, yeah, the computer and tune's not going to help when you got almost 800 pounds of dead weight in the car.
So it looks like, from what they're saying
It's gonna be
here,
they'll turn that into a
they're
canine
taking the
car.
suspension off the FX4 for the off-road package,
Okay, so
which
not
will
the
also give
Raptor.
it skid plates and hill descent control. It's going to have stiffened anti-roll bars, and front and rear brakes are upgraded for fade resistance with a different friction material and new coatings for the calipers, and silicone rubber dust boots on the calipers and pistons. So let's see.
So you know what? Give that to the Border Patrol.
They'll probably have it.
The Atlanta Police, the PD, do not need that.
No, but they didn't say this was specifically for Atlanta.
Okay, but see, I'm thinking big city polices don't necessarily need that. Marshals, okay, Arizona probably.
Yeah, they're designating this as a special service vehicle. Trying to see what else this
How
is.
much are they gonna?
Yeah, for men
charge
and
the
women in blue
government
or
for it?
green and khaki. So green and khaki, guess who wears that?
Army.
Border Patrol.
Right. Well, yeah, that specifically.
That's
is
probably
geared
what
towards
it's
them.
mostly going to be
Right.
used for.
But
Like out in
what if-
California,
right,
Texas.
but what if they already laugh and go, "Hey, we got a Wrangler that's already souped up like this.
Yeah, they don't.
Thanks."
Well, as far as I know, it's Ford and Chevy that do police and military vehicles. I don't know of except for the Chargers. I don't know of any.
No,
Dodge.
but anybody, you can buy whatever and take it to somebody and put.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that as a
That
one-off.
stuff.
They're going to get a fleet. They're going to go for the fleet vehicles.
They can buy a couple of them. That Ford doesn't make. They send it to a company to install that.
Yeah,
shit.
but they do it as a fleet. So they say, we're sending this many, instead of someone saying, hey, we want 5 of these vehicles, and then we want to send them, because that costs more to do as a one-off.
Right. Okay. So they send. Well, they could send like 10 of them. The Wrangler would be a smarter one. And it's snazzy. Okay, I give it to him. I was just like, all right, my trophy, my trophy truck will wipe the floor with it.
So another nice quick note.
Me being stupid, going, that's dumb. Why they do that? I'm just mad because they didn't do it. Well, they have done it to a Dodge before.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm just like, are they gonna put like, oh, what's the name of the component that sits in the back of like the old Crown Vics and the Chargers and whatnot? What do they call that?
I don't know, the
I
criminal
doubt
cage?
I doubt they're gonna put that in that truck.
No, they'll probably just reinforce the back instead of putting a whole cage in.
They gotta put. They
Since
gotta
it's
have someplace
mostly-
to put them. They
since
can't
it's-
just.
Since
they can't
it's
just
geared
throw them in
towards
the bed.
well, since it's geared towards pursuit, they're probably not going to have a full-on cage in the back.
Well, they have to, the Chargers are all pursuit. The K9 trucks are pursuit.
Yeah, but those are for highway pursuit, for pulling people and arresting them. If that one, they're going to probably call in helicopter support, like all that kind of stuff, so you don't lose them, like someone in, say, like the Arizona desert. That's who you're going to send after them, and then they're going to call for air support. And then once you got them on copter, they're probably not going to get away.
Yeah, call out the paddy wagon or whatever.
Yeah, essentially. So, moving away from that, since we'll probably argue about that for hours.
Right?
The
Hey,
Ferrari
that's-
F40 turns 30.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or don't. The F40 is 30 years old.
That's a pretty car.
They're still pretty, in my opinion.
I mean, they're not your daily driver, but
oh God,
they're
no.
still
But God, they are
pretty.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Didn't have that
The
turbo
new
V8?
the new Ford GT has delayed delivery.
Why?
Surprise, surprise.
Is the EcoBoost gone wrong?
Right. Let's
Which,
see.
again, I give Ford crap for the EcoBoost, but that
According
car is
to an official letter
ridiculous.
obtained by Automotive News to those that have already ordered the GT, it is caused due to supplier constraints and global global testing issues.
I can never pronounce that word.
Homologation issues as part of the company's ramp up of production. They're saying that the craftsmanship required to build these vehicles for global markets has required that we adjust our original timing projections. In other words, we're done messed up. Please don't unorder our vehicles.
Is it not compliant for European?
Probably not.
Oh, wait, let me guess. Are the British complaining that the steering wheel is on the wrong side?
Probably not. If you're ordering one of those, you probably don't care.
Bullshit. They
because
they even complain about their Porsches.
And here's
Some of
what
them
it
have the
says
steering wheel
here
on
is
the
that
wrong
it's
side.
not for specific vehicles, it's for the entire production of the car. So
Right.
it's not just the European model or the US, it's all of them.
Right.
So
but
probably
even
something didn't make tolerance
Right,
or
but even the
you know.
European Mustang, they put the steering wheel on the wrong side.
What are you talking about? No, they put it on the left where it belongs.
No, they don't. Not for the British
No,
models.
it belongs on the left. It's a Mustang.
I know, but the British models, they put it on the
No,
right.
it belongs on the left.
Guess what? They sell it in Britain and they put it on the right.
Well, too bad it belongs
Same
on
with
the
Australia,
left.
because Australia, if the steering wheel is on the left, you can't drive it. They will not let you.
Well, you know what, Europeans? Take your cars in,
Well, that's
get them
Australians.
converted. I'm just saying. That then...
You won't mess with the Aussies?
I don't care.
There's some mean jail.
I don't care. So what, big whoop, want to fight about it?
Oh, is that your Australian? Crikey.
No, that's the guy. That's the Irish guy from
Oh,
Family
okay.
Guy who's like, "So what, big whoop, want to fight about it?" Who's that guy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyways, no, I don't care. I mean, it's like in Australia, if you can't see, that's ridiculous. Like in the U.S., you can get a car, have it certified as safe, and if it's right-hand drive, you're like,
Well, we have to
okay,
wait 25 years for it anyway.
not to have
That's
a
our
right-hand drive
import-
car.
That's our import laws.
But not to have a right-hand drive car. You can buy a current car, have it converted to right-hand drive, and as long as it passes inspection, you're good. Yeah.
Factory? No. Factory?
Oh
No.
well, no, you can't get it
You have
factory
to
because
wait
it's
for
the production
you have to
line.
wait 25 years.
Yeah, production line
15
is,
in Canada.
they're not going to start a whole factory just to make a left-hand drive car. It's just not
Right.
financially
There's
feasible.
there's some collectors that have right-hand drives that they're like, yeah, I can't necessarily drive
I
this.
mean, you can get just about anything imported.
Right, but us poor people,
us average yos.
average Joes, then we could only dream like, hey, it's a nice looking car. I believe it did win all its bench, or it won its category in Le Mans and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole, I think it's been like 60 years or 50 years since the original ones,
That's true.
and they bring this guy back and win. I was like, go EcoBoost, sweet. Yeah.
So
It's
here's a
awesome
fun
looking.
one.
What's this one?
Again, moving towards self-driving cars.
Oh,
The next
jeez.
generation Nissan Leaf will offer one-pedal driving feature. This they call it the e-pedal, and it's a feature that allows a driver to turn the accelerator into a pedal that accelerates, brakes, and even allows the driver to hold the car on a hill. They said that drivers can cover 90% of their driving using the e-pedal, and it will minimize the need to shuffle their feet to get from accelerator to brake pedal in heavy traffic. Shuffling feet. Oh, no.
It's less. I think if you take a tape measure, it's less than 2 inches.
It is less than 2
from
inches.
that. I'm like, how hard is it to quickly... Doop, doop.
But
the problem is, people aren't paying attention. This is how Skynet starts.
This is where the rising machines comes.
Yeah. This is where they're going to get you. Your car's going to...
Well, that was supposed to happen 20 years ago.
Get out of
Just
your
saying.
seat. So they're late. I mean, not everything happens.
Get rid of your
on time.
refrigerators now, people. The machines are coming.
100% correct all the time. I mean, take a moment. I mean,
so, anyways, they are saying that you'll be able to activate it by a switch near the gear selector. And then once engaged, you'll be able to just let off the gas to slow down, release the pedal completely to stop. Which that's going to be such a weird thing. That's going to be a learning curve, because then what people are going to be doing is they're going to be used to driving a regular car. They're going to take their foot off of it completely, thinking they're just going to coast. The car's just going to stop and cause accidents. I can see it now.
right, and people, again, not paying attention because they're playing with that stupid little mini computer that's in the palm of their hand.
So this will be on the new second generation Leaf that is coming in September. It is.
Is there government kickback on it?
There's probably a credit. The new car is expected to offer more range than the current generation vehicle, and will also feature the ProPilot system, which is again a semi-autonomous driving system that helps with accelerating, braking, and steering the car to keep in its lane.
Skynet 2.0.
Oh yeah, they're it's the slow, steady march towards self-driving cars.
Yeah.
The only thing that I could see as an advantage to that for us people that get pissed when someone sits at a green light for 5 seconds is with a self-driving car, it will just go. Because if you're already not paying attention, you're just making it worse for the rest of us that are paying attention.
Right.
So at least you can not pay attention in a car that's going to drive itself. I'm all right with that.
Right, but then see, there will be laws later on where they'll restrict guys like us who actually want to drive an old gas.
I don't think they'd get away with
dinosaur.
that. I don't
like,
think they'll
you
get away
can't
with
drive
that until we're long gone, man. There's two, because
Still.
then they would essentially have to force every old model car off the road.
I'm gonna geek for a second. There was an old anime called X Driver. Same thing.
That's not.
It was all autonomous car driving. The whole
Okay, but that's a
was
theoretical.
autonomous
That's
car
not
driving.
real life.
And the only way to stop, like, they had certain licensed people, there were about 5 of them, to stop runaway electric cars. Because let's face it, things will go awry. Doesn't matter what we build, there will be issues.
Yeah, but I mean, again, in a
gotta
hypothetical
stop
world
them.
like that, there,
Right.
I understand,
But there
but-
are guys that there one issue that even when I
Well-
see with this autonomous stuff, like there, there's gonna be a jackass with a cell phone or something to point and be like, I'm gonna mess with this car. Watch this, click.
Well, and to their credit, like the Google car, like the Google Maps car, has not had an accident of its fault in its entirety. I think it's only had like 1 or 2 accidents, and that was because somebody else ran into it. Yeah, it drives itself with no driver at all. There's no one in the car. It's completely
Has
autonomous.
it run itself off the road yet because the map wasn't complete?
Nope. Because it's the thing taking the map, so it just goes up and down roads and does its own thing.
Does it go down back roads?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
because
it just
like
does itself.
sometimes the old like Siri will just run you off into a
Oh
lake.
no, well that's Siri.
I'm like, come on, please. That had to have happened once, and Google just doesn't want to tell you about it.
No.
I bet there's video footage of it, and it's hilarious.
Totally public record,
Like,
thank
it
goodness.
turns, it makes the wrong turn and goes, well, I thought there was a road here.
I would really love.
Wow.
I would really love to think that some. I don't.
You clicked on it too fast. That was a
No, I went to the news section.
Oh.
We
Okay.
want news. We're not here to. We can stare at the pretty cars when we're done.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you had it clicked so they
No,
could see what.
I'm just seeing if there's
went
any
through
news that's worth reporting on from Hot Rod Magazine. Doo. No. That's drag racing.
Ooh, who won the Riddler?
What?
Down there, the ARP Street, Rotter, Syracuse. Oh, never mind. I can't remember if the Riddler's already happened or not. It's the most prestigious in the aftermarket car world or in the custom world. The Riddler Award given out at the Detroit Autorama goes to like the best custom built car out there, and Chip Foose and maybe one other guy are the only dudes that have won it twice. Like, it's a very tough award to get.
Well, here's a fun thing, actually, for those that actually get waterless coolant. Actually, keeping engines from overheating.
No more water, huh?
This is a unique formulation that keeps in a liquid state up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit instead of vaporizing.
Wow.
Because, as we all know, water turns to vapor at 212 degrees. So when an engine is running hot, water-based coolant has nowhere to go, and then essentially percolates in the system.
Right.
And destroys hoses and components and all that.
Right,
But because
destroys
this one
hoses, and then doesn't cool the block, and then the oil
Since
just...
this one does not vaporize, it maintains an efficient cooling performance and reduces pressure even under extreme temperatures. So that's actually pretty cool.
It's crazy because most cars average thermostat operating temperature is like 210.
Yeah. And then fan is
And
I
then
think
you
like
add the and then you
250
add
or
it's like
so?
a glycol mix.
Propylene
so it doesn't,
glycol, yeah.
And all that does is keep it from freezing. That doesn't help boiling.
It's a little, not
Right,
much.
but
though.
the
yeah.
propylene
I think it
keeps
raises
it-
it to like 270 degrees.
Right, but the whole purpose of the coolant is to keep it from freezing in sub-zero temperatures.
Oh yeah, I know.
Otherwise,
It offers some boiling
heating it
resistance,
does
but-
not much.
Yeah. So
The block's still gonna
according
get
to
hot.
Evans, the company that makes it, it prevents corrosion, as well as, since there's no water in it, it is not as bad for certain components that are more prone to corrosion from water.
Iron.
So yeah, like your iron blocks, exactly. It does not conduct electricity like water does, and also does not expand the same when it freezes, or when in freezing temperatures.
So it makes
So
aluminum
long-term
blocks
reliability,
heavy.
maintenance costs are negatively affected by water, according to them. This has, again, corrosion protection over the lifetime of your vehicle, and it says it will reduce your operating costs by improving fuel economy and engine performance, and has also a natural antifreeze property to allow negative 40-degree weather. So that's
So which
actually
car do
pretty
we
cool.
want to try this in first?
Oh God, I don't know.
Stick it in the Jetta.
They even have a power sports one.
Stick it in the Jetta.
Nah, I'm gonna get rid of that.
I mean, how much more can you... Come on, it's a perfect test mule.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it.
Oh, we could... I kind of want to dump it in the Nova if the heating issue seems... I really think on my car it's the radiator. I got too small a radiator on the dang
that's
thing.
about it as far as news. On pretty much all fronts.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
arguments.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna end up playing any Overwatch tonight since it's
No.
already pretty late.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to that later. Maybe
Yeah.
I should see if Bending the Ink Machine Part 3 is out. That would be good.
Benning 8 machine.
It's a horror game.
Oh, is that weird
That little
cartoon
cartoony looking one,
drawing
yeah.
looking thing from like the 50s?
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Ah!
Maybe go and check
All
out.
ink and like it's scary in the fact that stuff pops out at you, stuff that goes bump in the night.
I got inked once. I had to pay extra for it.
Oh. Like you were showing me, and I'm just like, okay, you're walking around the corner. I'm like, what's scary? It's just gonna make you,
Yeah, it's just jump scares at that. Well, I mean, the atmosphere of the game is actually pretty well done. I think with like the sound design is really nice. The sepia tones actually kind of give it that creepy, like alternate world feel.
So you're saying he's played in the dark?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I did, and it makes a difference. It does.
It's
it
not
like
like one of those survival
like-
scary ones like Silent Hill.
no, like you start playing, you're like,
Or
okay,
Resident Evil.
this is interesting, and then as the game,
Ah!
oh gosh.
We did it again.
Oh, good
Button,
golly.
button.
Actually, the battery light is flashing at me now. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good on that one since it's not coming back. I have eventually killed my battery. And so
This
thanks
is how
for
we end. All they hear is
thanks
voices.
thanks for watching
Like
Driven
a
Tech.
podcast.
And you know what? I'm just going to go here.
What, you gonna give them like a sign off?
So yeah, visit.
Picture, whatever.
Go ahead and visit us. The rest of our videos at YouTube.
Like, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think. If you have any suggestions for topics that you would like to hear in the future, please let us know that too. You can check out the Twitch at twitch.tv/DrivenTech.
Yes.
And you can check out the Twitter at DrivenTech, which I'll put in the comment section below.
Feedback. It gives us
Yeah,
power.
I want feedback. I need it, even if you don't like something.
It helps us grow.
It does, and I like growing.
I know.
Well, I mean, I
I
don't want to
know.
grow anymore. I'm actually pretty happy where I'm at.
Right.
Anyways, so we're at it. So once again, thank you everybody for stopping by that did, and we will see you in the next video.
You can't see us.
Yeah,
That's
you can see
Brad.
us. We're waving.
Yeah.
Look at, oh God, now we're stripping. Oh, no, we're not.
No.
We're totally not.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But we are making out.
We
Yeah,
need to come up with a sign off later on.
that would be good. Anyways.